Hello and welcome back to Suspended Animation. I'm your host, Dennis Batholkis, and it's another episode of Is It Worth My Time? Now, before I get started here, I'm going to do a little bit of business, then I'll get into Is It Worth My Time? This can be, of course, the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance edition. So if you like what you see here, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. You can hit the dislike button. I just ask you to go down in the comment section. Tell me what it is you don't like. Give me some constructive criticism. Also, if you want to see when I'm going to be on live again next, you can hit the bell down below. If you've already hit it, don't hit it again. It will unclick it. You can go into the bell settings and get as many or as little notifications as you want. You can also see my schedule up on suspendedfanimation.com. I also have that mirrored over on my Facebook page as well. Excuse me. I have a Twitter, I have an Instagram, and I have a Patreon page, but I don't have any tiers set up as of yet. I will by the end of this year. So there we go. So there's not going to be any spoilers in this one or anything like that. So basically, what this whole series, is it worth my time, is set up is because a lot of people ask me at work, on here, everywhere for the most part. They ask me, they're like, "Hey, you watch a lot of this shit. Is it worth my time to see X? Is it worth my time to see this movie, this TV show, things like that?" That's pretty much where this idea was born out of it, quite honestly. And initially, I was going to do the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance as episode by episode breakdown. Same thing with Carnival Row. I took a little bit of a turn on that. It was a little bit of a U-turn on that one. So let me get into it a little bit here. I'm not a big fan of going back and doing stuff for nostalgia's sake. And that's what Age of Resistance feels like for me. It's like going back and doing something to get more money. Doing a reboot, aka a remake, or a sequel to a 30, 40-year-old property, just because that the fanboys are out there, and are going to give you the money, that kind of thing. And quite honestly, that's what this felt like. Yeah, I know Viking, but you told me the first 3 episodes are pointless, and then after that, she says the show gets good. It wasn't for me. I'm just going to say this right now. Dark Crystal Age of Resistance was not for me. I am not the hardcore fan of Dark Crystal to begin with. I am a casual fan of Dark Crystal. I like it. It's a good movie. It's great. But quite honestly, if it was another movie, sure, I would have watched it. But it's 1 hour episodes and 10 hours long. It was it wasn't worth my time in the end. So that's what I'm gonna say on that one. Um, yeah, if you are a really hardcore fan of the Dark Crystal, sure, I can see you actually getting into this and loving it. I'm not saying that the production of quality of it was bad. I mean, there's a lot of quality people that are in this, even the voice actors. There's a ton of stars that are doing this. I mean, you got Taron Egerton, you've got Mark Hamill in there, Mark Strong, Lena Headey, all these people that are voicing these characters. And that's just to scratch the surface of some of the characters, by the way. Um, so yeah, I mean, it was a really beautiful looking set and everything. The first episode, by the way, was directed by Louis Leterrier, yeah, that's how you pronounce his name, Leterrier. I'm not the biggest fan of his because I really, 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 really despise his shooting style. And I could tell right away. I was actually watching it and I was like, I know this directing style. Where the hell did I see this? And sure enough, it was him. And yeah, it kind of put me off from then on. But so yeah, Brian Froud, as Viking Bitch says, who designed all the creatures, he was also the baby from Labyrinth. For those of you who, if you remember he was one of the babies from Labyrinth. There we go. So your little trivia right there. He's all grown up now and he's designing puppets. Yeah. Yes, there will be tears at some point in time. But yeah, like I said, there's no fault of this other than with me on this one. I am not the target audience. I am not the nostalgic Like I've said before, I've said in other podcasts, if I want nostalgia, I've got an entire DVD section right here. I will pop something in and I can watch it. I am not gonna. I'm not jonesing for, uh, a new Dark Crystal movie. Quite honestly, I'm really not. And they're not puppets. They're Muppets. They're not Muppets, actually, Mr. Roboto. They're actually puppets. Uh, there's a big difference. So Muppets are made of felt. Puppets are sculpted. Just so you know. Muppets can be sculpted as well, but they usually are covered in felt. You didn't think I knew that one, did you? But I do. That's how much of a Muppet fan I was. Yeah. So is that an Ash Muppet in season 2 then? No, it wasn't. Oh, you're talking about in Ash versus Evil Dead? Yes, that was a Muppet Applecrow. That's what you want to do. Dante S says, I've been debating if I should check this out or not. Dante S, again, if you are a big fan of the Dark Crystal, the original movie, definitely check it out. For me, I was a casual fan. Like I said, I liked the movie. I would watch it if it was on, but it wasn't something that I lived and breathed, you know? The production quality is awesome on this. I mean, just absolutely beautiful. They did a great job with the puppets, the characters, the backgrounds, stuff like that. It all looks really, really nice, but again, way too long. Way too long. If it was a movie, I would have been all in. But as I started watching this, I started tuning out. I really started just tuning out. It's like, yeah. Dennis is full of knowledge and full of shit simultaneously. Exactly, Mufinobi, and it kind of balances out, you know. It's one squishes one way, and then the other one squishes the other way. So you never know what I'm full of. Viking Bitch says the first 3 episodes actually pissed me off because they took dialogue and scenes from the movie and stuck it in the mouths of new characters. Yeah. So see, she's a bigger fan of that than I was. So. Penn Farm Girl says it was pretty well. It was pretty and well done. Do we need it? No. Is it better than a lot of things we've watched? Hell yes. So again, like I said, wasn't geared towards me personally. I can't say if it's bad or not. That's the whole thing. Yes, I know it's kind of a cop out to come in here and say, is it worth my time? It wasn't worth my time on it. Again, like I said, 10 hours, way too much for me. But then again, I like my puppets creepy. Like really, yeah. If I was going to watch an entire season of something like this, it would need to be a lot darker and funnier too. Yeah. Exactly, Joker. Like the puppets from Channel Zero, the first season of Channel Zero. That was actually really creepy, and I liked that. I actually made it through that whole first season because that was a lot of fun. Second season, I copped. That was done. I was done with that. Apple Crow says, I don't think it's a cop out for you to say that, Dennis, on your episode about is it worth it? This is true. Yeah. Someone get on the Dennis DeFalco. No, God, no. Viking Bitch says, I was surprised at all the love online until I saw the first half. Until I saw the okay, yeah, I saw the last half. They should have done 6 episodes and cut the first 4. Yeah. What am I drinking, Mufinobi? It is a Jack and Ginger, is what that is. Jack and Ginger. Yes. I needed a little something. It's cooled down here quite a bit, so I don't need to do the mint julep right now, and I went over to the Jack and Ginger. Yeah. I wish I had something more titillating to say that, to you. Excuse me. Is that close to an Irish mule? No, it's not an Irish mule. Although I did have a Jack Daniels. There is a like a mule um, version of Jack. So it's not a mule unless you have a copper cup. So when we get down to that, this is a switch of topics here, but a mule is always in a copper cup. The only reason why it's you want to do vodka in a copper cup, there's a reaction to it. There's actually a reaction that works with a mule. So that's all I'm going to say on that subject. It's always winter in the Twin Cities. It never warms up. It's always frozen over. So to reiterate, if you're a fan, like a huge fan of Dark Crystal, by all means, watch this. As Viking Bitch is saying, the first 3 episodes, you're going to be pissed off if you're a big fan because they recycle a lot of the dialogue from the movie, from the Dark Crystal movie, and put it in the mouths of other characters. After that, supposedly the story picks up there. I didn't make it that far, unfortunately. I really wanted to, but I can't. Yeah. Oh, Viking Bitch says, I love Algra. This is a very small nitpick, but they changed her body. She had full breasts and nipples in the movie. I suppose that wasn't necessary. Well, yeah, they wanted to make it a little more kid friendly. I think Viking Bitch is what was going on with Netflix. Dennis, just make up your mind. Flip a coin. I don't have any coins. My coin went out. Ed Brewer, if you're out there, your coin is on its way. That's all I can say. Is Colby Smolder's new series make your review list since it's based off of? So yeah, I heard about that, Joe Greer. I actually saw the synopsis for it, started laughing, and said, yeah, this is not going to last more than 3 episodes, and then it's going to be gone. So yeah. With that said, yeah, this is going to be a short one for the most part. I'll stretch it out to half an hour for you guys, just so you guys can chat and stuff like that. But yeah, unfortunately, I wish I had more to say on this one. The next Is It Worth My Time that's happening on Thursday is going to be Young Justice Outsiders. I'm going to have a lot more to say about that one, quite honestly. So, and that's on DC Universe. It started off on Cartoon Network, the first 2 seasons, and then the 3rd season is on DC Universe. I have not seen this Young Justice. Watch the first couple episodes, Viking Bitch. Since you have DC Universe, take a look at it. See what you think. Yeah. They're only half-hour episodes, at most. So that's easy. Augur reminded me so much of a friend's mother. Everyone in our group thought so. Dante S is, I like this series that you're doing. Great, thanks, Dante. Yeah, like I said, it hit me like a bolt of lightning when I realized that I didn't want to do Carnival Row, and I couldn't get through the entire season of this show of Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. Yeah. You cancel your subscription, Mufinobi? Yeah. You're not gonna watch Titan season 2? Yeah. Actually so it's kind of funny. Titan season 2, the first episode, was supposed to be the last episode of the first season. Or yeah. And they kind of got shortened, so they kicked it over to the second season. Yeah. Which, if they do things well, it's got Akiva Goldsman and Jeff Johns writing, so no, it's not going to happen. I was going to say it might have might have the possibility of being good. I was like, no, what am I talking about? That would be me just. Yes, it is a lot of ice. That is what you're supposed to do with a drink. That is a proper drink right there. Is ice and half Jack Daniels and half half ginger ale. Mm-hmm. Well, I have an ice maker, so it's kind of easy. Just pop it in the door there and let it drop. I don't have to worry about that whole filling up, crap to make ice. Who needs that? Manual ice makers. Yes, I have been a bartender before. No, no, you can't get me talking, Viking. I'm not the best drunk in the world. I'm an exceptional drunk, is what I am. Um, you honestly would never know if I was drunk or not. I don't slur, and as long as I don't move, I'm fine. You would never know in a million years. I should say if I'm standing and I'm drunk, I'm good. If I'm sitting and I'm drunk, I'm good. If I have to, alternate between the two, then there, yeah. I used to be able to work, doing shots and stuff like that, and yeah, yeah, that's all I can say. Just tuned in 2 minutes ago, and I gather this show is not worth your time. Exactly, Joe. Like I said, uh, for those of you coming in a little bit late, the show is not for me. It's a nostalgia show. It would have been better off as a movie. And if you're really into the Dark Crystal, you're going to like this show. The first 3 episodes are probably going to piss you off a little bit because they recycle some dialogue from the movie, but after that, it gets better. Other than that, it wasn't worth my time, but it might be worth yours. You're not going to use your powers on this show. I don't think so, Mr. Roboto. It's Netflix, quite honestly. So Netflix right now might be in a little bit of trouble with Apple TV Plus or whatever, all these plus things that are coming out. So they just announced their laughable schedule that they have coming out, Apple TV Plus. And as a result, Roku dropped 12% in shares and Netflix dropped 3% in shares. And I'm like, so what? Disney Plus actually announced a shit ton of shows, like good shows, and it didn't move the needle at all on those. But Apple TV Plus releases, quite literally a litany of really terrible shows. By the way, if you saw, I'm going to be talking about this on Saturday too. If you saw the trailer for the show C with Jason Momoa, oh my god, I actually almost spit up when I was drinking when I was watching the trailer, and I almost started to laugh, and I literally almost spit up through my nose because the dialogue was that bad. Yeah, Legion did set the bar really fucking high, Joe. So did Doom Patrol, so did Counterpart. Yeah, I mean there's stuff that has set the bar way too high on TV, and other things need to catch the fuck up. That's all I'm gonna say on that. I say that a lot, That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, even Swamp Thing raised the bar quite a bit. I I had actually said I forget where it was. It was some discussion of Titans season 2 opener. And I said, you know what they should have done is they should have fired Akiva Goldsman and Jeff Johns, get them out of there, and brought in the whole writing group of Swamp Thing. They weren't doing anything. They had already been fired from Swamp Thing. Bring in some talented writers and have them start writing for Titans, because obviously Akiva Goldsman is a fucking hack. Do I think the Netflix thing is going to? No, they're going to have to lower their prices, Mr. Roboto. Netflix right now, it's $8.99 for a month for their lowest tier, and what is it? Something like $14.99 for their highest. And they honestly don't have. I know Akiva Goldsman wrote for Titans, Apple Crow. Yeah, he's just a horrible. Mark Verheiden wrote for Swamp Thing. He was actually the showrunner on that one. But Akiva Goldsman and Jeff Johns have been writing for Titans. But yeah, you're gonna see Netflix. I would say in February or March, they're gonna announce that they're reducing their prices, their monthly prices. because they're going to have a big, big, big hit to their subscriber base once Disney Plus and Apple TV Plus come into play. Viking Mitch says, even if you don't watch this whole show, I would recommend watching the making of the special at the end. If you want your nostalgia fix, Brian Froud, his wife, and son appear as well. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Succession. Oh yeah, I heard about that show. Oh, I forget who watches it, but someone was watching the Evangelist show that's on there with John Goodman that's on HBO. It got a second season. I just read that they had gotten a second season. They could do a lot of things, Mr. Roboto. I mean, they could do a Blue Devil show. They could do a Legion. And now, mind you, Legion of Superheroes show. I'm interested to see how they're going to do. Not Starfire, but now I'm just blanking on her name. I can see her. Stargirl. There we go. I'm interested to see how the Stargirl series is going to come about. The animated Harley Quinn, I'm interested in seeing as well to see how that goes. There's a lot of things that DC Universe is working on that's actually not bad. They have a good base to work with. But they're gonna have to they're gonna have to like ramp shit up now, considering what Disney Plus has in the pipe. I mean, quite honestly, Disney Plus has a lot of ammunition now just lined up, just waiting to fire. Yeah. I keep saying I really want BPRD, but my luck, it would be written by Lindoff and Akiva. So Apple Crow, I just saw the 2019 Hellboy, and some editing things aside, and also some makeup things aside, it wasn't bad. Which, by the way, will be the basis of another Is It Worth My Time? I forced my way through Defiance, worth watching once, but not twice. Huh. Yeah. Watch with a grain of salt. Everyone is bad or hard to root for anybody. Okay. You're talking about something else. Yeah. Viking Bitch says, I miss Legion 2. One day we'll do a binge and then slip into a fever dream. Yeah. Yeah, Apple Crow, there's a lot of good elements to it. A lot of good. I'm actually going to go and buy it, is what I'm going to do, because it's down in price now. Yes, because that is the basic bitch that I am. It's dropped in price. I'll go and buy it. Good night, Fanobi. Yeah. Like I said, I'm kind of stretching this out to a half hour here. Yeah, I know. I'm just padding out. Padding out my show, kind of like some other shows do, just to pad things out, but without doing controversial shit, So, yeah. I'm not, sources that I have that I can't talk about. I'm not doing that kind of shit. Yeah. I'll leave that to other channels to do that kind of stuff. Heard it from somebody who heard it from their dentist, dog trainer, walker, whatever. Yeah. I have no super secret sources, Ejar. I get my sources from the news. Basically, if I don't see it more than 3 times in the news, different corroborations, as far as I'm concerned, it didn't happen. And it's just clickbait is all it is. Yeah. Heroic Hollywood is a super clickbait site. And what's the other one? We Got This Covered. That's the other one that is super clickbaity. They're all the time. They're floating around in my feeds, my news feeds. And I see something interesting. I'm like, oh, and I look and I'm like, oh, that's where it's from. And I just keep floating past it. Like, yeah, I'm not going to click on that shit. Thanks, Joe Greer. Yeah, it's not worth my time. It's not worth your time to hate watch something. And quite honestly, like I've said before, my opinion is my opinion. It's not going to move your opinion whether you like it or not. We're all going to have a difference of taste of what we like, what we don't like. And what I say is not going to sway you one way or the other. I'm just kind of giving you my take on what I liked about something or what I didn't like about something, and then giving you the option of going in and saying, "Oh, you know what? That actually sounds kind of interesting. I'm going to go and watch that." Or, "Wow, that sounds like a shit show. I have to go and watch that to see that for myself," kind of thing, you know? And that's pretty much what I want from people, to make up your own minds about this. I'm not like I've said, I'm not the person who is the end all be all of taste or what you should and shouldn't watch. I'm never going to tell you what you should and shouldn't watch, quite honestly, because that's bullshit. Whoever tells you what you should and shouldn't watch, give them the fucking finger and tell them to fuck off. Quite honestly, that's some passive aggressive bullshit right there. Uh, I did hear that. Oh, okay. Uh, yeah. How I can be, if I tried, Mr. Roboto. I could be. I know how to do that kind of stuff, but I'm not going to, because it's not worth it, quite honestly. Um, I thought about it, quite honestly. Yes, I could end up doing a whole ranting kind of thing, and become like hundreds of other channels that are out there that do a whole bunch of really stupid rants and clickbaity shit titles, um, theories, or quote unquote sources. But my dog's groomer has a source out in the Ozarks that said that Mark Hamill, is coming back as Luke Skywalker in Episode 9, but he doesn't want anyone to know about it. It's like, okay, then how the fuck did you know about it? So, yeah, I'm not going to do any of that shit. Yes, my dog does have a groomer. Penn Farm Girl says, "You lowered my expectations so much for season 1 of Titans that I actually thought it was okay." That's good, Penn Farm Girl. That's the way you want to go into that. I mean, um, yeah, that was one of those ones that it was painful to watch, but it was also fun to watch because of all the dick jokes. The dick jokes, and I still don't know if they're intentional or not, but there are dick jokes in every single episode of Titans. And at some point, someone's got to, go in and take all of those dick jokes and just string them all together as one long cut of nothing but dick jokes. Yeah. Nah, it's not as rare as you think, Viking bitch. I can turn it on and turn it off. Yeah, that whole EJR, yeah, that whole crap, that fandom menace crap, that's just bullshit. I mean, yeah, naming yourself, as oh scary, yeah, whatever. Yeah, fuck off with that shit. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Yeah, that's giving yourself a lot more credit than it's worth, quite honestly. If it's quantifiable, sure, I will buy into it, but it's not quantifiable. That's the whole thing. Um, if you can actually trace it back, like, okay, I can say, excuse me, without a doubt, my claim to fame, and it was only because they asked us for it, was on Facebook. The Brave and the Bold had their own page on Batman, the Brave and the Bold on Facebook. I used to follow it all the time because I was a big fan of that. And they asked all the fans, who are the characters? What's the most obscure character that you want in the last episode? Because we knew it was ending of the Brave and the Bold, and everyone was just putting all these points in there, all these different obscure characters. And I said, Ambush Bug. I want Ambush Bug in the last episode. And everyone's like, holy shit, that's a great idea. Ambush Bug. And even Brave and the Bold, they were like, that's awesome. And what's in the final episode of Brave and the Bold? Ambush Bug. You want to thank somebody for that? That's me on that one. That one is actually quantifiable right there, where you can actually prove that you were the cause of something good happening or something bad happening too. But yes, that is quantifiable when you can do that. So, not to toot my own horn or anything like that, but that was one of my favorites. I love Buona Beast as well. Yeah, Buona Beast is one of my favorite characters off of that too. But of course, that version of Aquaman, outrageous. That's actually a good version of Aquaman. I kind of want Jason Momoa to actually do that. Outrageous. I don't even know why they represent. I don't even know what they represent. I haven't looked into it. Yeah, I haven't looked into it either. Viking bitch. I just know there's something that they're calling themselves, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. Might as well just call themselves the He-Man Woman's Haters Club, a la the Three Stooges, because that's pretty much all it is. It's just a bunch of whiny little bitches. Buona Beast could get a Netflix show. Yeah, you know what? Buona Beast would be actually kind of cool for a DC Universe live action series. I could see that. Actually, you know what I would see as a live action anime? No, excuse me, a live action series would be the '90s Animal Man. If they could actually do the live action Animal Man, the comic that was done in the '90s as a live action series, that would kick so much ass, and it would rival Legion for being as trippy as a trippy as a series. Quite honestly. You like that one, Viking Mitch? It's actually a real thing. The Stooges did do that. The He-Man Woman Haters Club. I always have that one in the back pocket because it's just fucking funny. Well, see, that's the whole thing, Mr. Roboto. Animal Man wasn't Manimal. He did not change into animals. He had more like Vixen's powers, where he could take on. I can't remember now. It's been a while since I've actually read it. I can't remember if he could control animals or talk to them, and also use their powers. I can't remember offhand, but he never changed. He never physically changed into animals. They left that for Beast Boy because again, that was another DC character. Yeah, Viking Mitch, if you go back and take a look at some of the old Three Stooges stuff, a lot of it is fairly fucking relevant today, which is kind of funny. It's almost 100 years now, 100 years later. And honestly, a lot of it's relevant, which is kind of scary when you think about it. Yeah. I hate to say it. No, she has not been touching the action figures lately. So she's MIA at the moment because school is in session. Yes. So, which is a good thing. As you notice, there is a space motif that goes on around here too. There's some space motifs that are happening. There's one that's missing too. I don't know where he went to. He kind of took off over here. Will I cover the ending of Flash and Arrow? Oh, that's a good question, Mr. Roboto. I might. I might do it as a special. I might do it as a is it worth my time? uh yeah. Yeah. Yes, the Stooges are almost 100 years old. The series they started in the 1920s. Yes, the 1920s. No, Pepper did not run off with one. The one that's gone from here has gone walkabout. Yes. And by walkabout, I mean it was in an envelope and got mailed out. So actually, I'll tell you guys what happened to it. So I kind of felt bad that Jimmy Olsen Blues didn't, he was a runner up, didn't get anything because Ed Burr, got his coin as a prize. So it went to Jimmy Olsen Blues. So if you're out there, Jimmy, listen to it, take a look in the mail. Should be there fairly soon, hopefully. Yeah. Yeah. See, I like giving stuff away. So the Stooges were a favorite of Ben Browder. He did several references to them in Farscape. Interesting. No, I just don't like Ben Browder because he's not that great of an actor. I'm sorry, Viking bitch. I really don't like him. The Three Stooges each are, not the Iggy Pop Stooges. Yes, the Three Stooges. Hey Mo. Yeah, that kind of thing. So, with that said, thank you everybody for joining me tonight in the chat, and also you if you made it this far in this rambling video. They don't all go like this. Well, some of them do. Okay, 90% of them do. If you like what you see here, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Also, if you're on the fence, you're going to see at the very end of the video, there's going to be a video that pops up here. It's going to basically take a video from your algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and pluck a video that matches from my vast video library and pop it up there for you. Up here is going to be Preacher, is what's going to pop up there for you. Excuse me. And if you want to see when I'm going to be on live again next, you can hit the bell down below. You can also go to suspendedfanimation.com and see the schedule up there. Also, it's mirrored on my Facebook page as well. I'm probably going to start a group page on Facebook so you guys can post stuff and talk amongst yourselves as well on Facebook, since I know there's a couple people that are following and taking a look. I have a Twitter, I have an Instagram, and I also have a Patreon page, but I don't have any tiers set up as of yet, which I will by the end of the year. With that said, thank you everyone for joining me tonight in the chat. And take a look on Thursday is going to be another episode, I should say, of Is It Worth My Time? It's going to be the Young Justice Outsiders edition. Friday is Titan Season 2, Episode 2. Saturday is Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre news of the week, talk about that and any genre stuff you guys want to talk about. And Sunday is Preacher. Yes. Followers, those are called stalkers. Shh. I don't give them labels. Yeah. All right. Oh yeah, you like that, Viking bitch, to get a Facebook group? Yeah. Okay. I'll set one up. I've been toying with it for a while. It's been in the back of my head of doing it, and I just haven't gotten around to doing it. So good night, Echar. Good night. Good night, Moon. Good night, June. No, I don't know where I'm going with that. Anyway, with that said, thank you, everyone. I will see you on Thursday. And until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may end up getting your food stolen from some little elf-like thing that thinks it's fun to steal the food from the tray that you're trying to serve your bosses from. If you watch The Dark Crystal, you'll understand that. Anyway, thanks, everyone. Have a good night. And I will see you on Thursday.